Spinning Fire by Leah Graves. I've created this multimedia presentation on spinning fire because throughout my fire spinning career, I have been told countless times, I really wish I could spin fire, but I'm just not that coordinated. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can, and this is how. Step 1, choose a prop. From staff, poi, hula hoops, double staffs, fans, there's eating fire, there's breathing fire, there's the whip. There are many different props to choose from. Your prop is your tool, and it is important to choose one that feels right for you. So feel free to experiment when you are choosing this prop. For me, my props are the staff, primarily, and secondary, a hula hoop. Step 2 is practice. Buy DVDs that show step-by-step maneuvers. Look online or on YouTube or other flow sites like trickconcepts.com. Most of what I have learned through from my tricks and maneuvers have been on YouTube, something that's very cost effective and it just takes time. Remember, learning a new prop takes time. Do not give up and do not get discouraged. I'd like to think of this as the same way that it takes to learn a new language. You can become proficient in it in a year or so, but in order to become an expert level, it takes a lot of practice and probably about 7 years' time. So you are going to invest some time into it, depending on if you want to become an expert or just really good. It's up to you. It took me about a year to become really good with the staff, but even so, in the grand scheme of things, I am by no means an expert. Practice continued. Work on learning new tricks repetitively. And respectively, work on your flow into these tricks. Whenever I practice, I will focus on a new trick that I'm learning over and over and over. However, if I feel like I'm quote-unquote losing it and not doing as well as I was whenever I first started, I will work on my flow and then I will come back and revisit that new trick later. Take time to learn new and complicated tricks and steps. That means A to B is what that trick is. However, when you're learning, break it up. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. However you need to do it. Because you are learning making your brain and your body learning new moves that you wouldn't have known otherwise. So you need to make sure that that muscle memory that you are building is the correct muscle memory, or it's going to take you much longer to achieve this trick. Take it nice and slow. Again, you are learning and you need to let your body and your mind to learn together. Practice until you're ready for fire. Do not rush into it. I did not pick up my staff the first day and light it up. It took me a while before I felt comfortable enough to do it with fire. And whenever I did do it with fire, I stuck only to what I was comfortable with. Step 3, safety. This should really be important. You're playing with fire, so you need to know proper safety protocols in order to be able to do it successfully. First of all, learn how to use a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher is not to put out fires on people. That's more for a fuel dump. And a fuel dump is a safe place for flammable liquids and gases. It's a medium to large structure that can hold containers and items inside of it. It's made out of heavy metal or wood, and make sure it is clearly labeled. It needs to say flammable, fuel dump. Stay away from here. Don't light your cigarettes or your candles around here. It could be very bad for everyone involved. Have a safety. Safeties are people who are watching you with a safety blanket. Never spin without one. If you do, then you're pretty much at risk. Safeties should have a fire blanket, as previously stated. The fire blanket is something that helps you smother out the fire, whether it is on the wick, on the prop, or whether it is on a person. And safety should know how to use the fire blanket respectively. There are different techniques and different maneuvers that you need to know as a safety in order to put out fires. And there are YouTube videos, there are sites that are dedicated to the safety blanket and to fire safety in general. Be sure to educate and ask your safeties if they know how to properly smother a fire or wick on you before you perform. There's nothing like feeling like you're safe and then finding out that you're not, and you can eliminate that by just asking, saying, hey, do you know how to do this? And then if they say no, then you need to, it's your responsibility as a fire spinner to say, this is what I need of you to do should things not be under control. Step 4, enjoy the thrill. Dazzle your friends, make new ones, connect with the fire spinning world. There are a lot of us. Be dazzled by yourself and by the sound and feeling of the performance. It's truly exhilarating, and you'll never experience anything like it. One last thing that I did want to say, I know it kind of sounds scary with having a safety and fire extinguisher and all that. There have been many times to where I've been on fire myself, but the safety should yell out, fire, left leg, or whatever, and most times you can put it out yourself. Just a quick tap with a hand, and it's really no harm done. It's really, the risk is minimal unless you are doing something that you should not be doing. And if you know what you're doing, if you feel comfortable with your prop, if you feel comfortable with others around you, it's really, really not an issue. So enjoy yourself. Do not fear it. It is something that once you do, you'll never look back on. So I hope that this has kind of given you an idea of what you need to know as a fire performer and as a fire spinner. And hopefully the main thing that you need to do is practice. That's the most important step, practice. And educate yourself on safety protocols. And that is that. Thank you so much. This is Leah Graves signing off.